All right, what's up, everyone? It's Graydon here with Forever Booked. I'm here with Jay Patel. He's one of my clients, just signed up about a month ago. He's absolutely crushing it. He's the owner of Liquivida Wellness Studio in San Antonio, Texas. He's also a software consultant, which is pretty cool. Definitely gives some like interesting background and experience to running a med spa. So super to have happy to have you on, Jay. Thanks for hopping on.
No problem. You're welcome.
All right, so let's begin here. You've only been a client for about a month, but you've been like you've been crushing it, right? You sent that post in my group. You've been getting like crazy leads coming in. You already got a lot of sales. So this is gonna be a great interview, just to show people, when you really implement marketing and when you follow our program exactly, you can get like really quick results and get some really quick momentum. So to start off, Jay, maybe could you just give me a background of where you were at before Forever Booked and the problems that you're looking to solve when you initially signed up with us?
Right. We're about less than a year old, so fairly new as a
Yeah,
new clinic, right? So the goal is to get as many clients as possible, which basically means that we need as many leads as possible, right? So then,
yeah,
once you get the leads, you go through the process and you have new clients. So our number one goal was to get more leads and more clients into our door. So that's where we
yeah,
started. And we were doing well, per se, I would say. But what was happening was because we're a wellness center that offers a lot of different things besides aesthetics, we were, overlapping, but sometimes we're missing out and things like that. So I wanted to find a company that would, specifically focus on aesthetics and all the other things, that we actually do. So, along came Forever Book, and since then it's been amazing. It's been an amazing ride.
yeah. Let's quickly though. Were you working? Jog my memory. Were you working with any other companies before us, or were you the first company
Yes.
you hired on?
So I did work with two other companies, actually three. Yeah. So I worked with three other
Okay.
companies that promised me the moon, sun, and throwing some stars in there too, right? And they were getting leads. Don't get me wrong, but they were not one qualified leads, and
Yeah.
two, they were not the leads that we were actually wanting to make our customers. You know, um, and the cost of acquisition of each not lead and also the customer itself was tremendously high. So we're talking, anywhere from $145 to $160 per client acquisition,
Damn.
not a lead, but client acquisition. So it was tremendously high, and that kind of helped us, with that was the massive change that we had with you guys. So
Okay.
that's
And
where we were at.
were any of them using Go High Level
Um,
or no?
no, actually, none of them were using Go High Level.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually
No
surprised
AI,
because
no high.
gotcha. A lot of companies will use Go High Level, and that's a big mistake people make. Like, oh, you're also using it. They think the software, just because it's the same, is going to be different, or it's going to be the same since it's the same software. But a lot of people, it's not really the software that makes it work, right? Which we'll discover in a sec. It's really like what you do to drive it and the strategy behind it. So let's talk about that. The first campaign. Let's chat about this campaign that's absolutely crushing it for you guys right now. What's the offer that we're running to bring you guys
So
those
that's the
leads?
all-in-one campaign, basically, right? So this is the
Yeah,
neurotoxin campaign, is what it's called for. We're running it for $97, offering 10 units of Botox, 25 units of Dysport, along with a biotin shot, and then
yeah,
also a LED face mask kind of thing, right? And the reason we didn't want to do this, we want to create a unicorn offer where they would come in, our customers come in, and now see three different areas of our practice: the IV lounge with the
yeah,
biotin shots, the aesthetics with the neurotoxin, and then obviously the facial or the esthetician department with the thing. So that was our goal, so that we can kind of cross sell, upsell on either one of them. Like, one of them has to hit,
yeah.
kind of thing, right? One out of three for the most part. So it has been widely successful. It's been crazy. My staff has been extremely like excited, but at the same time, I was like, oh my god, they've been overwhelmed as well. So I mean, I'll take that any day.
Yeah, I think the ad's actually going viral because the ad has insane engagement on it.
Oh yeah,
There's like 111 comments last time I checked, like a ton of
crew
likes, tons of shares as well.
shares. Shares are
Yeah.
the most important, yeah. And
Yeah, for sure.
you notice, speaking of that, the shares are very, very important and crucial because what's happening is a person sees it and they love it. So what they do is they share it, right? And what I call this is more, word to mouth, digitally, right? Digital word to mouth is what I call it. So what we're seeing is someone will book an appointment with us and then they'll come in with somebody else, like a sister. We had one yesterday that came with the mom and daughter. Someone came with a sister. Someone came with a friend. So, and these, the friends, the moms, or the sisters, they're not even in for every book. They're just coming with the other guys. We'll just tell them, yeah, sure, bring them over. We'll book them together, and they come in, and it's been crazy. I've never seen this kind of engagement with any of my other ads. So this was something on a different level. So we're very excited and happy.
Yeah, I mean, like most people wouldn't be because most people are gonna look at this offer and be like, "Oh my God, you're only charging 97. They're getting talks, they're getting LED, they're also getting the IV, right?" So, what would you say to those people who are super skeptical of the information?
Okay, so look, great and honestly, I'm a numbers guy, right?
Yeah,
Data doesn't lie, numbers don't lie. That's the mentality I have, right? So, like I said, prior to this, we were, gaining a customer anywhere between $144 to $160, right? That range was what we were based on the leads and how many leads convert and how many make appointments and how many convert into customers, buying customers, right? That's the whole goal. So our number was quite high, and I knew I had to do something different to do that, right? Now, people don't understand that that's a very high, and a lot of people don't even know it, right? So first you got to know it. But we also use Groupon, right? So let's just say we use Groupon and we post a syringe of filler for $3.95, right? Or $2.95. Actually, not $3.95, but $2.95, right? After it's all said and done, we're not even making like $2.25 after Groupon charges and whatnot. You see, so at the end of the day, we're not even covering the cost of the syringe. Plus, forget the time that our practitioners use and things like that. So the cost of acquisition was negative, meaning it was terrible. We were losing way more money, right? So think of it that just keep that in mind. And now think of the $97 package that people are questioning. Let's just say, right? For $97, they come in and pay you $97 first of all, right?
yeah,
They pay you $97. There's massive opportunity for you to upsell at least 10 units of Botox, which a lot of people go to because one area 20 units normal kind of thing, right? So even if you do the math on $11 a unit on on a lower side, that's $110 extra plus 97. So the way I think of it is like I'm getting a customer, not a lead, not anywhere in the process. I'm getting a customer that is paying me to become my customer rather than me going out there and spending all this money to bring them in, if that makes sense.
yeah.
The only true cost that I have is the ad spend, which I think it's a couple of bucks, maybe $2-3. But
Your
we
cost
like
per
even at
lead is
$97,
$2.50.
we're still making
Yeah,
right, yeah. And even in the 97, people don't realize you're still making money. Actually, you're not losing money at all. Like you're making money. So we're making money, while bringing in the customer, and it's like our cost of acquisition is zero. If anything, it's positive. They're coming in and bringing us money. So when you shift your thinking and thought process to that, then you understand that okay, you instead of spending $150 a lead, you are actually gaining a customer. To gain a customer, you're now gaining a customer with them actually already paying at least $97. So that's the biggest takeaway I can give anybody, and
yeah.
it will change a lot of things for your clinic if you kind of just implement it. To be honest.
Yeah, that's a huge. Such a crucial. It's kind of a subtle but really important mindset shift. It's like, yeah, you're getting paid. You're getting paid essentially to do a consultation. But in your case, it's like almost three consults, right? Because they're seeing three different parts of your practice. It's like you're getting paid to have that opportunity to find out what they're interested in, and give it to them. And then on top of that, the offer is also so differentiated. It's not just like you're saying, okay, get 97 for Botox, like where you've combined it into this thing. It's called the Forever Young injection package. We've given it a unique name, and it's so much different, and that's why we call it a unicorn offer, because people see that and it's like it stands out like a unicorn. It's like it's not just a great deal, but the way it's set up, it's just so much different than any like they've ever seen in their area as well. That's great.
and the value, they perceived value basically, right? So perceived value is also
Yeah.
$350. And,
Yeah.
you obviously, when you're making a package like this or an offer, you have to keep in mind, what areas of your clinic you're trying to hit on, right? And then also, do they all go together? So in the Forever Young, right, obviously the neurotoxins, the biotin goes with the skin, nail, and hair. So obviously, again, beauty. And then the
Yeah.
face mask, again, with the face, something to do with the face, right? So you also have to be conscious about, what you're offering and if it flows, well or not.
Yes.
So just keep
Yeah,
that
there's
in
got to be
mind.
a strategy behind it. We call it, I call it strategic discounting. People, they see it, they're way too like binary about it. They're like, oh, big discount bad, low discount good, and they see it. They don't see all the intricacies in between. And the fact that you've strategically chosen your treatments that are easy to deliver at low cost and also go to different parts of your clinic, that's what makes it work, right? And those are the things that people don't think about when they set this up.
Yep.
That's great, and I'm really happy you like understand this. Like you got this from the get go. You understand it, and you're reaping the rewards from it as well. So let's talk about the quality, like how quality the leads are. So again, someone's gonna be like, "Oh my God, $97 off of these leads are gonna be crap," right? How has the quality of the leads been compared to other promos you've ran?
So I'll describe you before and after, and also give you another mindset that I believe in, right? Just another shift, another shift. So I've run a lot of Facebook ads, a lot of Google ads, and then also offline marketing and things like that. A lot of money. We spent a lot of money on that to grow our business. So we were getting a lot of leads. Just because you're spending the ad spend, you're gonna get leads, right? But what's the quality of it, right? That was the whole thing. So my staff was complaining. It's like, Jay, these people are not the right people. They're not qualified. They don't have money sometimes, or it was just not working out for us, right? So initially, when we launched the campaign, we saw something similar for the first couple of weeks, and I was like, oh my God, and then, but I was like, it does take for the ad to stabilize. You're still going through that learning phase on Facebook and things like that. So it stabilized, and then it also gives you a little bit of time. You also need to give it a little bit of time for them to come in and actually experience your services and things like that. And that's when you see it. So after 2 weeks, I was like, oh my God, well, hold on. So for the last 3 weeks, what we've noticed is the quality of it has shifted. And I think that has a lot to do with a couple of things I want to, attribute to that too. One is the quality of the graphic or the video that's going viral for us. It's amazing. It's a beautiful girl, nothing crazy, has the perfect areas where she can be treated, kind of thing, right? The engagement, the viral nature of this post, the shares, those just make a massive difference. Those are the things that matter for us, right? And when we did that, what ended up happening is the quality of the leads just skyrocketed, if you think about it, right? And then also what the product offer is, you want to make something that is valuable as well, not just because, it's discounted or anything of that sort. But if you make it valuable, a great post, and there's a lot of engagement, people will trust you more, and you'll just get better leads rather than tire kickers or anything like that. So we've noticed that tremendous difference. But here's the key, right? Once they come in, right, to add on to the previous conversation we had about the why 97, it's so low kind of thing. Like yesterday, we saw 4 appointments from the Forever book, right? And all 4 of them bought $97, and then one of them bought 20-25 units extra of Dysport or something like that. So we made money on, but 3 of them we were able to consult through and rebook them, right? So that's a long-term value. Because someone is coming for one filler, a couple of fillers, and then we sold someone for Sculptra as well, 4 sets, 4 vials of Sculptra, 2 boxes. So I'm looking at it like, okay, this lead came in and I didn't have to pay anything. I made some money off of it, but look at the residual long-term value of that client, 20% core. So the quality of the leads is what we're focusing on now more than the quantity. So that way we can get more, towards the 20% of our core customers and, following the Pareto principle of 80-20. I'm pretty big on it. I understand that. I know kind of, how well people can do if they understand it and kind of implement it. So that's another mind shift. Yes, they may not purchase $97 worth, they may not purchase anything more than $97 the initial time they come in, but because they just loved your practitioner, they loved your service, they loved your staff, they're going to come back. And that happened great. When we opened, we had Groupon, and we were like, oh my God, these guys are not buying anything more, right? That was our mindset. But then we started getting the reviews for our, nurse practitioners and whatnot, and man, they're all coming back. And honestly, last couple of months, what we've noticed is it's about time for the filler or the Botox. It's like, man, we've been to other places, we've been to other clinics. I'm going to be honest with you, I've been to other places, but no, it's not working out for me. This is the best service we've gotten as well. So your staff also plays a major role with that, right? So you have to make all these little things. They're simple. This is nothing like, complex or magical, anything about it. Like, you gave us the script, follow the script. Like, you put your own little thing in there, but 80% of the script, just follow it. Like, that's what we've been doing. Like, literally, I'm not even joking. Yeah, it's not rocket science. And this is true story as of 2 days or 3 days ago, right? So last week in the huddle that we have, we basically told us like, hey, girls up front and then our practitioners. It was like, okay, here's a script. I want you guys to follow and then see, how it goes through. So just like any other team, they're like, oh, the change is coming. So it's like a little hesitant, right? I understand that. So I was like, okay, I understand. Let's just see how it works. Let's just see what it does for you, things like that. So they made their own copies and then they made their own scripts kind of thing, right? Based on, and it's like 80% do not change, 20% you do what you got to do, right? So they did that. And believe it or not, yesterday my wife just came to me and was like, hey, I just talked to Summer, which is one of our girls, and also Clarissa, one of our practitioners, and they are like so hyped up about this script that they're using. It's like, why? And they're like, it's so guided that they don't, you basically focus on things that are going to sell, basically. The method of it is so straightforward, simple, and one of the things that Clarissa said that, I was spending an hour with all these customers that were not buying, but now I'm like cutting it short if I definitely know that they're not interested. In 20 minutes or done. So now we're booking another client. So it's like I'm like, what, since I started believing that this is it, I'm implementing everything that you guys have on the the state of sales mindset. Like I send these videos to my team. It's like, hey, watch this, just 3 minutes or 4 minutes or whatever. And they love it. It's like, man, this is so good. This is so good. So now they're getting into that mindset as well. So when you train the team and, you work on it, it's a one-time thing. Like I don't have to ever do that script ever again, right? So when you do these little things, non-complex, little, very simple things that has proven to work with you guys, why not? Like, it's just, it's on a platter. Use it.
You're talking about the consultation script, right? Combined with the presentation.
Presentation, yeah. All right. Yeah, so presentation was easy. I just inserted our logos, and then for different areas, we just inserted our befores and afters that we had, and instead of going to the phone, it's like, hey, these are the results. Like that's very unprofessional too and time consuming, right? So now it's like perfect. Like small lips, here you go. Big lips, here you go. Mid face, here you go. Sculptra, here you go. And then the overall, here you go, kind of thing. Like before, after. Like so, they're like, oh wow. Oh, I can do that. I can get there. Like, they're excited about it. So that itself, that just the presentation itself was so much valuable. And Clarissa said that just took away like 10, 15 minutes of my time. Like, trying to explain it to them, like, how it would look or things like that. So, again, efficiency as well included in it. So I was like, I couldn't be happy, man. Like,
that's really, great. This get me stoked. I love to hear people that just like follow it and it works, right? And like the thing about that script is it's not just like any script that I just like threw up there. That thing's been like through the ringer. I've been like redesigning it a bunch of times. It's based on my dad's clinic too, who's been using it for like 20 years. So that's like super foundational stuff. And the principles don't change. So like your staff learns that once and it's not like, oh, we need to adjust this. They may change like certain parts that fit them, but the foundations and like the steps, those are never changed. It's all just like psychology. I'm super stoked. Your staff's using that and getting good results with it as well. Plus, like you said, consultations were probably more uncomfortable before. They were comfortable in the sense that they were used to it, but there was probably some parts they didn't really know what to do next, right? But now that it's a script, everything's very laid out and they don't really need to think as much. They can just follow it. So I'm sure in the long term, it's going to be a lot more enjoyable for them to go through the script.
If you just follow it, I feel that one thing that has helped, majority of the time the objection is money, right? Finances. Yeah. So when you handle it in a way where you make them realize what what they're coming in for, where they're at, how they want to progress, and then we offer the financing options that we have available. That cuts down a lot of time, and then also a lot of objections at the end. You go through the whole thing, and you find, okay, well, so handling of objections, the best way to handle it is not have them, like not give them an opportunity to do that kind of thing. Yeah.
No, that's great. That's great. So let's talk about the software element, because you are a software consultant, so you're probably pretty qualified to give feedback on the software aspect. What's you and your staff's experience being of the software and the AI follow-up?
So we have a CRM called Zenoti. I'm sure a lot of people, are aware in this industry. And when they compare this Forever Book, it's like, Jay, can we kind of get everything done on this? Like, this whole go high level, Forever Book platform, because it's so consolidated, right? Like everything is in one place. I see the Google reviews, I see my ads there, I see my reporting there, I see all my, follow-ups there, appointments there, revenue there, ROI or ROAS, right? Everything is one place. So because it's very intuitive is what I feel. Like the software is very, very intuitive. It's very well organized. You just kind of move them through the funnel or the sales pipeline, right? They loved it, and if anytime you want to update something, just click on it and boom, whatever you put in. It's very, very straightforward, very easy, and I think the best part, that's for my staff side, right? Because they're the ones who maneuver through the whole thing. I usually don't, but they do that, so they're very happy. It's like it doesn't take them time at all. So that's it. But on the other side, which is techie side, let's just call it that, right? The integration was fairly easy. Was just done immediately. But the most important thing for me, at least, is the campaigns, man. The pre-made campaigns are already there. You already know what verbiage to use. All you have to do is plug and play, like simple plug and play. Your offer, your bonuses, and then a little bit of your language in there, and it's like live the next day. Not even the next day, it's probably the same day if you kind of just do everything right. So for me, I think I love that you already have pre-made campaigns, and it's just not for one thing. Like it's like for neurotoxin, BBL, IBL, weight loss, it's like so many different things. So our goal now is to move on to the next one. So I already have a unicorn offer that I was going to discuss at some point, and kind of just get that started this weekend, really. So I think those, as a customer, you want the campaigns, right, and then ease of looking at what's going on, how it's doing, right, and it's all in one place, and it's beautiful, really.
That's great to hear. Now, I've been asking a lot of my recent clients this question because we, as you know, we used to be sort of a traditional agency where you would kind of tell us what to do and we would implement everything on our end. But we switched to this done with you model recently because the technology is getting so good, the tools are getting much more streamlined that you can implement all this in-house, right? And that's the whole point of our program, to give you, empower you to do this in clinic. But the biggest objection I hear is that these clinics are like, I don't want to do this myself. I don't have the time. I'd rather someone else do it. But what's your situation been like that, just implementing things in-house versus, having an agency do it for you?
Let's be real, Graydon. When I talked to you the very first time, I was thinking the same exact way, man. I don't want to do it. I have enough on my plate that I don't want to do. That was my mindset. Really coming in, I was like, just okay, how can I automate it, right? That kind of stuff. So, and then I saw, what you guys had to offer. I saw the system, the AI, which was time saver. My girls love that. It's I'm glad we're not answering, text messages all day long. So I feel that, though people don't want to do it, I think there is tremendous value in actually doing it. Why? It's not done solely by you, but it's done solely with you, right? It's done with you, not just solely, but solely done by you, but it's done with you, right? So what does that mean? I have gained a lot of the scripts, the presentation that that you give us, the knowledge of what offers are working, what a unicorn offer is and things like that. So that is forever. Like I said, team is trained, now they're trained forever kind of thing, right? So that aspect, I wouldn't have gotten it if you would be doing everything for me, right? So that's one aspect of it. And the secondary part, the one that I was personally afraid was man, I have to manage ads and you have to post all these copy and this. So when you said that we already have pre-made campaigns and you just select one, put your information and you go, that was like a relief. It was okay, well, it's one time, or maybe fixing it a little bit here and there, things like that. It's not like the whole bulk of doing it. So for me, that was like the selling point. I was like, you know what? Yes, we can kind of handle ourselves at the same time, and didn't add too much overhead. If anything, it took away a lot of our texting and things like that. If it kind of helped us. So I mean, now that I've been through this, and now I know like how my staff has reacted, how our business has reacted, I feel that this is probably the best way to go, because you do want to still be hands-on. Because marketing companies in the past have like done their thing, and then I have to still monitor every single day. Say, hey, can you take a look at this campaign because it's performing poorly, or the cost of lead is too high? So it's more of a proactive approach on my side, rather than me expecting them to actually be proactive and do that. Right here, you're basically kind of doing in between, and it's a perfect model, I'd say.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And do you know what the crazy thing is? When you work with these done-for-you agencies, in order for them to scale, they templatize all their stuff anyways. So like all the campaigns that you see on your end that are like plug and play, these agencies, they have the same templates on their end. If they did it from scratch on their end, they wouldn't be able to scale, and the amount that they would charge, they wouldn't be very profitable. So the agencies, they use the templates anyways. All they're doing is like making these small adjustments that you're making on your end. And that was the epiphany that I had. I'm like, these agencies, they're overpriced middlemen. Like that's what they're becoming, right? They're just these people that, they make the small changes to the campaigns, and sure, you may get the illusion that they're doing all this work on their end, but they're actually not. And the downside of that is when you want to change something, you have to wait like days or even weeks for them to even like make a change, right? And so I've done that model. I've done a lot of different models in the past, and this is why this one's the absolute best one that I believe most in, because you still get the convenience of having a lot of these things done for you, but then you get the control on your end. So once you've like made a change or launched it, you can make a change instantly.
Yeah. So I actually have a company that's actually doing a lot of our other marketing, right? And now I am like, okay, I'm gonna set up all my campaigns through Forever Booked, and once I have done that, I don't want to just remove them and kind of so I'm kind of leaning more towards just using this more and more and more and growing with it. So after like maybe a couple of months, maybe 3 months or whatever, I don't know exactly when, but I would be in a position, I believe, that I could let them go and save like $4,000 a month, like literally $39.97 is what they charge me for doing everything. So yeah. Or I could like scale them down to just keep them for email nurturing campaigns or something like very specific that that's not ad related, if you would, leads related. So I'll see how it goes, but that's my plan, to be honest, right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if the technology allows, just consolidate things. Like this is what technology does, right? This is what AI does. It makes things a lot more efficient and allows these like huge cost savings. So yeah, it's just the way things are going. Cool. Yeah. So what are you excited about moving forward? I know it's it's a newer clinic, right? And you're getting some good momentum here. What are you excited about in the coming months and even just like years with the clinic?
So we're a comprehensive wellness center. So I think we take pride in taking care of our clients, and I think they see the difference. The reviews kind of reflect that as well, and I think our staff is on board with it. Like it's passed down from me and my wife to our staff, right? And then, it's passed down to our clients and they see it. So our, vision is to help as many customers as possible in the best possible way we can, right? And be profitable at the same time. So in the upcoming months, we're going to hit our 1 year mark, November 2nd. So, we're coming very close to that. I think we've done pretty well for a clinic that's been open for a year. But I think in upcoming months, I think we need to make that shift to take it to the next level, like whatever that next level is in terms of finances, but also in terms of, how we want to grow. So for example, quality over quantity, right? Like we had to learn through the hard way. Niched, like using you guys versus using a traditional, marketing company that has, saved us tremendous amount of money, basically, right? So making adjustment. One of the things I've learned is fire fast, hire slow, right? Fire fast, hire slow kind of thing. So implementing all of these things, we're already in the process of doing all of these. So we're extremely excited for what's coming up. And then now the best months are coming in November, December. Those are the best months usually, right? So we saw that last year too, even when we opened. So I think we're excited for that. And then the best thing, to be honest, I think as a new business owner and going into the second year is the residual you'll see from the existing clients that's going to like kind of fall over, but you don't have to work anything extra for. So over the years, I mean, I think I've seen other businesses do it the same way, and they've been extremely, extremely successful. So I feel, we're on the right track and super, super excited. Like my team is excited, we're excited, and can't wait. Like really, we can't wait. But I want to, not like think about, oh, okay, when we get to that mark of XYZ number or XYZ customers, and like wait for the satisfaction of fulfillment until then. Enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. We're just learn, enjoy the journey. That's what our mindset is, and so we're enjoying it as we go. Obviously there's hurdles which everybody has to come through, and so yeah, like both of us are very, very excited, and then next year we're like very, very excited for next year. So let's see.
Do you offer memberships at the clinic? Just curious.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. So actually, yeah, we do offer two levels of membership, and that includes like neurotoxins, but it's more IV based as well. But people sign up for IV more than anything else. But what you notice now is like because neurotoxins are every 3 or 4 months, right? Versus IV you can get every week if you want to. So, but since we initially it was just IV based, and now we incorporated the neurotoxins in there, like I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. So now the aesthetic clients are also signing up for those. So as recent as this week, I think, this week our girls signed up two new memberships from the one was the Forever Booked campaign that we ran, and then one from the booster. So we don't know of a way to kind of enter it into there, but we got two memberships from there. So I didn't expect that. It just happened. So I was like, oh wow, cool.
That's great. All right, last question here. I always like to ask this question at the end. What would you say to someone considering this program? And I guess we'll focus on that objection, right, that a lot of people have, which is like, okay, I can't do this, in-house or anything. If someone had that objection, was kind of like on the fence, what advice would you give them to like, if they're on the fence signing up with a program like this or something similar?
See, honestly, I would say give them a shot. Like give Forever Book a shot. Let them show you what they can do for you. It comes with a guarantee, right? Like you're guaranteeing it anyway. So why? What do you have to lose? Like what do you have to lose, right? It's all gaining. It's all about gaining. So I think if you make them understand, if they understood, how much the involvement is, because anytime someone's on the fence about doing it themselves, just like myself. They feel that they'll have to do a lot of work. But when you tell them that okay, look, all the campaigns are done for you. All you have to do is X, Y, and Z kind of thing, right? That we set up all of these things for you. AI is set up for you. So and all your staff has to do is X, Y, and Z. Just go to the software. I feel it kind of gives them an understanding of how much work is not included, because they're always thinking, okay, this is going to be a lot of work. So when you give them the breakdown, it feels like they know they can handle it. And I think we're easily able to handle it. Actually, it's made our life easier than So I would, if I was telling somebody, I was like, dude, just give them a try. Like just try. What do you have to lose? Kind of thing. At least a month. So
no, definitely.
But yeah,
and like let's just for a second compare like the actual. Let's just look at the difference of work from hiring a done for you agency versus what we're doing here. Like, I think the biggest piece of work that people think they need to do is just like putting the campaign together and then launching it and then also monitoring it, right? Because that's when you hire one of these agencies, that's what you're paying. You're paying them like this big, huge, $1,500, $2K month retainer to like monitor your campaigns and like launch your campaigns. Okay, let's look at the launching of campaigns. Before you launch it, you still need to create the offer, and creating of the offer is not something that should be done entirely by the agency, because they don't know. Like, let's look at your offer.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to just like work with the agency and be like, create my offer? How is the agency supposed to know that you want to like stimulate these 3 parts of your practice, that you have these specific, like, there's no way to do that, right? And so the offer creation has to be a joint effort anyways. So that's going to be done no matter what.
Yes.
And then let's look at the campaign launch aspect. Well, the campaign launch aspect, we've already talked about that. The campaign shell is already 95% done by the agency anyways. So do you want them to like click the 5 buttons for like a couple extra $1,000 a month? Or like, are you okay to press those buttons on your own? Right? And then plus you get we have 4 hours of daily webinars per day that you can get on as well too, if you want to do it with us, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's like that part, well, you can probably do that in-house as well. And then the management, which is the third thing, you're saying that with your agency, you needed to, you were constantly reaching out to them anyways, because they weren't really doing the management part, right? A lot of these agencies aren't very proactive with that anyways. But in this case, you can just go on your KPIs and your dashboard, right? And if you need to make a change, you can get on a call with us or just like make it yourself.
Yeah, so you're right about campaign launching is very, that was my biggest concern as well. It's like, man, I got to come up with all these graphics and the ad copy and everything like that, right? So it was so simple, like I said, to do it. But with the ad agency, you're working with them to give them all the ideas of, what you want in there and everything like that. It takes time. But the most important thing is they take 2 weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks to just launch the campaign, right? Yeah, like here you're talking less than 24 hours to come up with an offer, to click like 5-6 buttons, and you're like literally. Yeah. So you get 20, you start getting leads like in less than 24, 48 hours. So I think that was the biggest thing that I was afraid of. And once I saw that, I was like, wow, okay, well, this is easy.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. It's like once you've done it yourself, it's like, damn, what were they doing for that 2 weeks?
Charging for so much, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh well, Jay, thank you so much. This has been an incredible interview. Really lots of value, lots of gold nuggets, and I really appreciate you sharing the offer as well, like sharing that with other people. So, thanks again. We're only a month into this. We still got a month left just in your 8-week program. So, super excited what's next for you guys, and appreciate it again for you hopping on.
Thanks for having me, Braden. Appreciate it.